Okay, sorry about that, guys. Today is going to be a little bit of a messy stream because some weird stuff has happened that I had no idea about until I looked out my window. There has been a big fire over the other side of the road, which is just ridiculous. I had absolutely no idea what was going on. It's right by a petrol garage, which probably isn't very good, but I think they've got the fire under control, so hopefully we should be fine. Now, I've actually got it fully zoomed in and everything, where I usually do this with a green screen, but that should be fine. We'll just we'll make it a little bit bigger on the sides, and you can see, or you can just about see Lottie. It's all good. We've also got the snowman in the background. That's one of the amazing Christmas decorations I have. But yeah, I just got a call as well. I was just playing the intro and my doorbell rang, and I was like, oh shit, it's going to be the police to tell me to get out of my building, because there's so many police and firemen outside. It's like, what? And luckily enough, it was an Amazon delivery driver who had the wrong address, because they've shot our entire road, which is that way, and essentially they've got police tape blocking anyone from getting down here. There's still like plumes of smoke coming out this building, and it's like, whoa, I really hope no one's been hurt. But yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully, I think it was just a building site. I'm not 100% sure, but if it was buildings that haven't been finished, then hopefully no one's injured and stuff like that. There was a couple of ambulances, but don't know what they're for. Obviously, I can't talk about that too much, but let's introduce our first game. It's going to be a bit weird to do this. In fact, let's have a look at the team rankings. I may only get round to doing one of the series today, but I'll do the next one tomorrow, and that's not a problem. But Soul Gaming currently at the top of the table, Valhalla in second, White Clan in third, IRK in fourth, BuLL in fifth, Naz in sixth, Red in seventh, Eternal Friends in 8th, Ash in 9th, NetWars in 10th, tied 10th is Clan Revolution, Nice in 11th, Psystorm in 12th, and in 13th we do have DM. Unfortunately, the bottom of the table is definitely looking a little bit further away, but the top half, the top 8, will be heading in to the STPL Season 2 playoffs, and we've currently got a lot of teams in contention for those for that top 8. Of course, the top 3 teams are kind of running away with it at the moment, but it's very, very close behind them. I would say the real cutoff point is BuLL. BuLL is essentially, if they can win today, obviously that's going to cement their position, but Naz, Red, Eternal Friends, Ash, NetWars, and Clan Revolution are all very, very close to each other. So that could change completely, which is kind of crazy. Thanks, Yun. It was more than 5 minutes late. It was like 25 minutes late, but it's all good. Luckily enough, I'm not affected. Hopefully, none of the people across the road. Hopefully, there was no one in the building. The garage hasn't been evacuated, so hopefully that's not going to be under any danger, because I live right across the road from a petrol station, which when there's a fire right next to it, probably isn't the safest of places to be, but hopefully we're fine. It's all in good hands. The police look like they're doing a good job, as well as the firemen and firewomen. And the crazy thing is, I've seen for the first time ever, there is like this fire command truck. Like, I've seen normal fire engines, of course, but this is like a fire engine without like the ladder and stuff on the top, and it's just like a big command vehicle, and it's got like a little radar on the top as well. It's really cool. I've never seen one of those before, but luckily enough, hopefully I won't see one again. But let's have a look at the player rankings as well. Not much changes on here very often, but Scan and Noob still up at the top. DeWalt quite close behind. Mainly the 9th, 10th, and 8th positions change a lot. You can see that Tai 2 is incredibly close to Eon Zerg. I mean, it is very close in the top 10. The top 20 overall is quite close as well, but obviously we only display the top 10 for now. But if we were having a look at our matchup today, we'll probably just do the one. We're going to have Psystorm versus BuLL. The reason why I'm probably going to do just one is because I am quite late, and if the series go on, it's going to be quite hard for me to do both, because I still unfortunately have to work tomorrow. But even though it's going to be Christmas Eve tomorrow, I will cast the second series if I can't get to it today. pSi Storm and BuLL, both of them have been doing okay. I mean, BuLL have definitely been doing better this season, as you can see from the round stats. But head-to-head, they are 1-for-1 against each other. We won't go too much into the win-losses of both teams, because in Season 1, they were kind of at the lower end. And Season 2, they've had some really, really tough opponents. So I don't want to go into it too much, of course. We are on week number 9, so there is 3 or 4 more weeks left after this one. But let's introduce our rosters for today. Okay, so starting us off here, we're going to have Vesco versus Inca in a ZVT. We're going to be heading into Michael versus Dark in a PVZ. We're going to have a PVT between Marine and Fly Mio, and then we're going to have a ZVT between Mitak and Rainer. So that should be a lot of fun. We're obviously going to have a lot of no mirrors in this matchup, which is kind of cool. Yesterday, was it yesterday? No, yesterday was the Christmas Cup. On Friday, we had a matchup which was literally all mirrors. So, and also Naz versus Soul is 3 mirrors, but they're between 6 of the best players in the entire league. So if we do get to that today, then that'll be fine. I've noticed that it doesn't say Ace versus Ace at the bottom anymore, but Game 5 is, of course, the Ace match if we get there. Now, to introduce our first map, we are going to be heading into the one, the only Neo Arkanoid. Now, Neo Arkanoid, one of my favorite maps in Season 2. We've had a lot of really, really good games on it. It's actually been a very, very balanced map in terms of win-loss ratio. TVZ, which we're going to see now, is 3 for 3. ZBP is 3 for 3, and PVT is 7 for 6. So certainly seen a lot more Protoss and Terran players here. But TVZ, I mean, it's been pretty balanced. And when you look at the players, there's been some really close matchups here. So kind of cool to see both sets of races doing really well here, as it's always good to see as many possible as many possible matchups, and TVZ is obviously a great one. Introducing both of our players here, starting us off for pSi is going to be the wonderful Vesco. Vesco is only a 20% win rate, but when you look at who he's played against, it's not too surprising. He's had to play against Tech, Scan, Horitas and Squall, all very, very good players. He did beat Forever on Desperado, but that was a crazy all-in that he did. So an all-in could be possible. That was one of the only 2 ZVTs he's played, and going 1-for-1 in ZVT against 2 Korean Terrans is not too bad, even if he did all-in in one of them, which is kind of funny. And his opponent fighting for BuLL is going to be the Peruvian Inca. I didn't mention this before, but pSi Storm are the Bulgarian national team, essentially. So they are all Bulgarians. BuLL are mostly Bolivians, but they do have a Chilean player and a couple of Peruvians as well. So Inca's not done too badly. He's only played 3 games, 1 against Bonith, 1 against Terra, and 1 against J1. He has only won 1 of them. But when you think of Terra and Bonith, they are arguably like 2 of the top. I mean, Bonith is definitely the top foreign player at the moment. And Terra is definitely, I would say, arguably the best foreign Terran right now compared to Dandy and Kogut. So it's kind of cool. And Gifka, thank you very much. I'm really glad you like the production. It's something I've worked a lot on. I've put a lot of hours into the production and stuff. So if you hearing nice things is always good. Like, I know that sounds really bad and it sounds like I want you to stroke my ego, but hearing nice things about the stuff I've made feels really, really nice. Okay, let's get into game number 1. It is Inca versus Vesco. It's a TVZ on Neo Arkanoid. Okay, starting us off in the bottom right hand position in the pink, fighting for pSi. It's the Bulgarian player Vesco. And his opponent spawning down here in the olive green, fighting for I I don't know what is up with... Oh my god, Inca's color is the color of my green screen. I'm gonna have to change that. I was like, why is it not appearing? But Inca, the Peruvian player, spawning down here in the olive green. Okay, that looks a bit better. Yeah, so if you guys are just tuning in, you're like, why is the stream so late? Essentially, there's been a big fire across the road from my house. I was out checking out there, well, I was kind of peering out my window trying to work out what was going on. Then I went outside to see if I can figure out what was going on. And all I know is there was a big building, which I'm hoping was a building site, was blowing out smoke pretty much from everywhere. Looks like the top of the building has been on fire for a while or something, and I completely missed it. So there was tons of fire engines, tons and tons. You know what? Let's do top versus bottom. Let's do red versus blue because we can't see the things otherwise. But yeah, there was just police and firemen everywhere. I was like, what on earth is going on? It's really scary because I live across from a petrol station and the fire was right next to that, and I had absolutely no idea any of this was going on until I noticed just out the corner of my eye from my bedroom window that there was a police car blocking the road. I had absolutely no clue this was going on whatsoever, but I suppose it is a good sign because it means my insulation works and my windows are properly insulated because I couldn't hear anything. Which is a lot better than my last house. I don't know if anyone's watching who's been watching me for the last 2 years or so, but essentially in my old house, you could hear people on their phone outside my house in their car. But that's how bad the insulation and the windows were, and I had gaps around all my front doors, so... And Hyun is saying this is all a dream. If this is really a dream, then everyone... I'm going to use my power of lucidity. Everyone who's watching, go sign up to Patreon right now and all give me your Twitch Prime subs. And then I'll believe it's a dream. Making this lucid. Now, we've got a one hatch layer coming in from Vesco, opting not to expand very quickly. You can expand quite quickly as Zerg on this map, which doesn't look like it. But I see no Twitch Prime subs, so I'm going to assume this is all real. And unfortunately I have to go to work tomorrow as well, so I know it's definitely real. Now Inca, interestingly, going to leave this Chrysalis alive and kill the other one, but both players going to be expanding quite late. Terran definitely have a better job of expanding here, but a lot of Zergs do just 12 hatch and they just go for the gas like this, and then they build their third hatchery here. But Vesco did play a little bit aggressive in the last games I've seen from him, so going for a one hatch Spire is pretty good. And for New Year's Eve, I think I'm going to my friend's house, but nothing's confirmed just yet. So you never know, I may be streaming, I highly doubt it, but if that plan falls through, then I'll probably do something for the STPL. But I'll likely be at my friend's house, which will be good. For Christmas Day, I'm going to my dad's house. Obviously, I lost my mum last year, well, this year in January, so I'm not looking forward to it too much. But, like, my mum hated Christmas because her brother died in early December, and this was all the way back in, like, 1993 or something. So I'm not going to let what happened to her happen to me. So it is going to be +1 attack coming in for these muteless right now. And I've noticed the more I'm starting to cast and the closer it gets to Christmas, the harder it's getting for me to actually be on topic about the actual game. Kind of funny, really, but I guess that's how it is. It's also a lot harder to concentrate at work. Like, it doesn't look like we're getting any time off over Christmas, minus like the 2 bank holidays that we have, Boxing Day and Christmas Day, which is the 25th and 26th of December. But yeah, it's gonna be weird because there's like barely anything to do at work, which is just boring. I'm hoping if we are forced to all go in and they don't do like skeleton stuff, that I'll be able to like connect to my computer and work on some video stuff from the office. Okay, so the Mulists are of course out. It was going to be a starport first here from Inca, but not really getting too much damage done. Is there going to be... There's no Goliath on the way yet, so there we go. He's finally getting a Goliath. He's been spending a lot of his APM just going for turrets. Okay, the first turret has finished, which is going to be a big help against this. But the Mulists can just fly around. If they get the armory, that is pretty much an unwinnable situation for Inca. Inca is actually going for a dropship instead of going for a Wraith here. And I mean, he's building a ton of turrets, which is going to make it hard. But I mean, this dropship isn't going to do anything, and if this armory goes down, there's going to be no more anti-air. So with more Mulists coming into the scene, this is going to get better and better. +1 attack is 2/3 of the way done. No upgrades coming in on this armory, and you can already see that these Mulists are starting to take this down very quickly. And the second you lose your armory when you're trying to go mech in TVZ, you're pretty much dead. Like, it's going to be very difficult to come back from this. Obviously, building a ton of turrets, you can make something happen. Terran is never dead until they're fully dead. There is a ton of turrets everywhere right now. But the issue is, there's going to be a dropship coming in, and that dropship is about to get sniped by all the Mulists. Oh my goodness. Inca needs this drop to go off. And oh, is it going to go down? Yes! Oh, it goes down! I mean, he loses a couple of Mulists for it, but realistically, does that matter? Inca was pretty much relying on that dropship to pull the Mulists away from the base. And just unfortunate positioning. I mean, there is a couple of Goliaths which are going to keep everything alive for now with the turrets. But that was definitely not a position that Inca wants to be in right now, because he needs another armory. Where is he going to build it? Is he building it over here? No, he's not. He's just building more missile turrets. Oh, there is a Valkyrie here. The Valkyrie microing away from the Scourge, but not managing to stay alive, going down. And that is such an unfortunate loss, and such an expensive loss for Vesco, for Inca even. Like, when you're going for Valkyries as like a... Well, that was kind of a Hail Mary situation. Wait, he must... Oh, he has a second armory. Okay, so he did manage to rebuild his armory. That is something. But Valkyries cost a ton of gas. Once the Mulists are dead, they can't attack ground. And I mean, even against this amount of Mulists, when they've got +1 attack already, I mean, it's not really going to help too much. Is he going to... Oh my god, he's going to lose his starport before it finishes. No, the Valkyrie comes out. Can he keep it alive? He needs to micro his turrets against the Scourge. If he can keep this Valkyrie alive, he can keep his dreams alive here in this game. Nice micro. Going to keep that alive for the time being. And he does save his starport. That is an incredibly important little bit of a win there for Inca. Vesco's Mulists, a lot of them have been heavily bruised. A lot of them have gone down. And of course, this was initially a one base build here by Vesco. His economy is not great. And Inca has managed to stave off the attack long enough, I feel. And look at how much damage these are going to take without +1 carapace. Valkyries are really good units when you can use them properly, but it is very difficult, and they do die very quickly. But oh, don't lose the Valkyrie. Come on, you need to pull this away. Oh, he does. Does he save it? Oh, it's so close. He saves it. Nicely done there by Inca, and all of the Mulists go down from Vesco. Okay, so Vesco continuing to rebuild the Mutelist count here. The economy is not great. There's a couple of Lings that aren't really doing anything. Honestly, I'd expect them to be breaking through them another map right now. Or at least breaking these down so he can take a third base. I mean, this is pretty much an all-in again by Vesco. Vesco has been a very aggressive player all the way through his STPL games so far. And I thought before it was because he was up against such strong players, but I think this may just be his style. He likes to go for these very aggressive, very... I wouldn't say it's an all-in as such, but you need to do damage with it. And so far, Inca has done an incredible job holding off against this. He's not going to get a second Valkyrie, so it is just going to be one. But he's going up to 4 factories now. An extra expansion should be coming in soon. And Vesco are going to try and move in on this natural expansion. But look at how many turrets are here. The Goliath should be able to move up. The Valkyrie even coming in. Is he going to do the micro? No, he's not. He's just going to attack move. But that's not too bad. Although now it is. Oh, does he keep the Valkyrie alive? Yes, he does. Nicely done. And here come the Goliaths. to secure that defense. There's still no hive, but this could very much well be for a queen's nest or a third hatchery. I don't know why he just doesn't expand again. Such a weird decision by Vesco, but maybe he's worried about a big drop coming in. Now there is a dropship. It's not out just yet, or in fact it is. It's just about finished. But the Mulists trying to fly in, find any damage they can. They do have +1/+1. There is no mech upgrades as of this current time, but the Valkyrie is going to go down. But so are a ton of the Mutalists again. This is just backwards and forwards trading over and over again, but I feel that Inca is just trading a little bit more effectively every single engagement. Yeah, I would say they were for stacking the Overlord, stacking the Mutalists as well, Geefka, but he's got an Overlord moving around here, which is what he's been using, I think. The Lings were from before where he killed the Chrysalis, but he didn't kill the other ones for some reason. Now, he is going to break through the closer entrance. Now, not to say this is a bad, or not to say it's a bad decision, but I've seen a lot of players do this, and it often ends badly because you're opening up the closest possible attack path to your mech Terran opponent, who realistically does not want to move very far to kill you. It's kind of like the best possible situation for Inca to be in. Now, Vesco going to go in and open up that close path. Going to be very, very difficult to defend against any mech army coming out the other way. And our banner, there was no turrets the whole time, but there was a lot of Goliaths, so that's why I didn't push in at that point. But we have got a lot of heavily upgraded Mutalists. Do we have a Queen's Nest on the way? No, a fourth hatchery. Why is he not expanding again? I don't understand his decision making here. But no Queen's Nest. Imagine if he go for Guardians here as well. That would be incredible. You sit the Guardians and the Pizza Wedges, and you essentially siege down the expansions. Or you can even do it through the high ground on both of these bases. Looks like he is going to be going in with a ton of Mutalists. This is very heavily upgraded Mutalists now against the 1-1, but there is 3 Valkyries here. Let's see how much damage they can do. The Goliaths coming in behind as well, but the Mutalists, they're barely taking any damage. And this is the kind of move Vesco needs to make. He needs to break through these big Terran forces with what he has. Now, he is going to go back and get some reinforcements. There's going to be 11 Mutalisks. And hey, Catsborg, good to see you, man. He's going to go up to 12 Mutalisks again. Still no Queen's Nest. Still no third base. Inca saying thank you for opening up the area. Oh my goodness. I don't know if that's BM or just being kind. Yeah, the Valkyrie's so low, but not going down. There we go. It has finally fallen. And Vesco, I think, has hit the point of no return. He has traded away far too many Mutalists at this point. The gases are slowly going to be drying up here. No third base is on the way. No fourth base. And I don't see a way out for Vesco here. I think Inca even. It's just crazy. But here we go. The Mutalists coming back in. There's so many Goliaths now. There are Lings, but the Lings are going to die very, very quickly to these Goliaths. And I think this very well could be the end of the game. The Lings are not doing enough to be able to hold on here. There's some more Lings coming in. But I mean, all the Mutalists have died once again. And I think, honestly, this is the time that Inca just pushes. He knows that this gap is open now. And he knows that he has a very short push path. And the fact that he's killed most... Oh my god, he's even going to get a drone. Is he going to get it? Yes, he does. Nicely done by Inca. Now there is double starport. He's not going double starport Valkyrie anymore, but he was for a little bit. He has got his third base up. It's just started mining the gas as well, which is a very, very big moment for a meching Terran. Now he does have speed on his vultures, which are going to help here as he pushes in. Mine should be done very, very soon. 2/3 of the way done. And he's going to come in and get more of these precious, precious drones. 4 drones, 5 drones, 6 drones. 7 drones have gone down. And Vesco's economy, or was that 6 drones? Vesco's economy is in absolute tatters right now. No upgrades on these mech units still. This is very, very late. I will say that if Vesco hadn't have been throwing away so many units, I think Inca would lose this game, but like later game, it becomes so much harder for a meching Terran to play against Zerg if they don't have the upgrades. Like imagine if Vesco had been going for Ultralisk this entire time. All of a sudden the Goliaths would do like 1 damage to the Ultra per shot or something. It would not be fair. I guess it'd be like 5 or 6 damage or something. So Cats was saying Vesco has the Peruvian economy. Oh my goodness. Now there is I'm not so sure about this one, Inca. Your Valkyries are so precious. That one's gonna go down. But I mean, just look at the amount of units there are. He's even adding on Marines now. Marines and Medics. Like, this is just... Oh, it's actually going to be Mass Goliath, Mass Marine Medic. This is not a style you get to see very often. But our Peruvian Terran's certainly showing some style here. Because Mass Bio, Mass Goliath absolutely destroys what Vesco has right now. There's still no Queen's Nest. The 3rd base is finally coming up. And Vesco does finally have more drones. And he's going into a Hydra Den, and Lurkers will really help, but they're so far away that I don't think they're going to get there in time to be able to do anything. And finally we have a Queen's Nest, so Hive is going to be on the way. I still think Guardians would be a good choice, but unfortunately where there's so much bio and where there's so many Goliaths now, I'm not so sure that is the right choice anymore. Now, Inca's not going to build too many turrets in his 3rd. He honestly should just build a ton of them, because he knows the only thing that Vesco's been doing this entire time is going for mass muta. So as long as he defends against any possible counterattacks, he should win the game. Now, no +2 upgrades coming in for our Zerg player just yet. So this is going to be 1-1 against... Is this 1-0 bio? No, so it's 0-0-0. And this is what I like to see. Hit 'em Up has got some competition for the King of the Skies here, because Valkyries are the absolute sickest unit in the game, and they are completely destroying everything. 3 of the Valkyries have gone down, 4 have gone down as well, but that's too much. GG. Vesco taps out, and Inca takes game number 1. Now, of course, that was only game number 1 of the series, but BuLL are going to be feeling pretty good being able to get their name on the board here in game 1. Now, I'll be back in just a couple of minutes with game number 2. I'm just going to have another peek out of my window to see what the status is on the fire over the road. I think the fire stopped, which is good, so I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Okay, we have a ton of Matrino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matrino link, it brings up the Matrino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. It'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie. STPL does. Bio TVP. Wow! You got it. STPL does. Mass Scouts? No problem. Broadcast 3 nights a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2100 CEST. Fantastic casting, fantastic production, fantastic prizes. Only here on the STPL. Did you know Reavers could be this radical? How did these lings even get here? All I know is that's one dead base. STPL does! Wraiths, Valkyries, Carriers, and Corsairs. Forget about it. You won't see that anywhere else. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. DT's doing game-ending damage? Name a more iconic duo. We've even got carriers in PvZ. How amazing! A global team league on the scale you've never seen before. Don't see this in BWCL, STPL does. All that and more, only on this amazing 64-bit STPL. What BWCL don't. Impressed? I know I am. Why not support us on the link below? Patreon. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for the STPL. You'll notice I don't have a green screen if you've just tuned in. And Jesse's saying we want to use channel points to ask you uncomfortable questions. I'm waiting. None's come yet. But I won't answer some that are too unbelievably uncomfortable. So it looks like the fire across the road has been stopped. The fire engines are still there. The police are still there. They've taped off everything. But yeah, the snowman gets his share. Look at this. I don't know if you can see properly, but essentially the snowman sat on the sofa. I've got the wonderful Lottie over on the other side as well. And this is the one thing you miss from me having a green screen. But the green screen does look a lot better, so that's why I usually use it. But regardless, we're here for game number 2 of pSi versus BuLL. BuLL took game number 1, so we'll have to see if they can take game number 2 as well. We're going to be heading into our second map. Now this is going to be a PvZ, but let's have a look at it anyway. It's going to be Carthage 3. Now this map has also, well, this map's been a little bit more imbalanced, especially in TVZ, but it is a very, very fun map. The TVZs we've had here have been very one-sided, but that's how it happens sometimes. And Hyana was never hospitalized. Please do not spread that rumor, because that is not good. But essentially, Carthage 3 is super fun in PvZ. Zerg are currently 5-3 up. So our Protoss player here is going to have to work hard to put Protoss back on the board on this map, of course. Now, if we have a look at our players, we'll introduce both of them. Starting us off here, for pSi is going to be Michael. Now, this is going to be Michael's first game in the STPL, so nothing I can say about him. But his opponent for BuLL is going to be Dark. Now, Dark is one of our Bolivian players. He is a Zerg main who plays PvZ, but he is going to be playing ZVP in this matchup, of course. He's currently 3 for 5 against Protoss, so ZVP certainly not his best matchup. But even then, having that kind of win ratio, 3 for 5, is not that bad. It's very close to 50%, and against such strong opponents, it can be really difficult to get that kind of win rate. So nicely done by Dark. Let's get in to game number 2. It's Michael versus Dark. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position in the green, fighting from Bulgaria for pSi, it's Michael. And he's not using his pSi tag. I'm going to have to get that sorted. And starting us off down here in the bottom right-hand position is going to be the Yellow Zerg fighting for BuLL from Bolivia, it's Dark. Okay, obviously we'll have to see how this game is going to go, but PBZ so far has been pretty good on this map. I know we've had a relatively weird cast so far with how things have been going, but... Oh, it looks like the building that was on fire was the old police station. I didn't know that's what that building was. I've lived here like nearly 8 months, I think. I moved in here... No, it wouldn't be 8 months. Yes, it would. Oh, looks like they're lagging a little bit. Well, hopefully it's not too much of a problem. This is one of the reasons why we play in replays and cast from replays, because we don't want people lagging too much. Now, it is Bolivia versus Bulgaria. That is essentially a long, long way away. So, someone is saying, who was that in chat? Jesse's saying the Bulgarian Prince in chat. Like, I'm not sure where that nickname's from, but I'm kind of interested to know where that comes from, because that could be interesting to be able to call him that. Is he known as like the best player in Bulgaria or something? Or is this Michael BG from Twitch who plays a lot of 2v2? I think it's probably Michael BG on Twitch, isn't it? It's just I've never actually watched his stream. So I don't know how good he is. Okay, spawning pool is on the way. I know I've kind of been a bit distracted again, but I was checking my phone to see what the old building was. So you'll have to forgive me for a second, but it is going to be a Nexus after Forge here. And I got distracted again. Essentially, when the fire was happening, I sent a video to my friends, and they're telling me more stuff. Okay, I need to pay attention. So the probe has been pushed away. It's becoming so hard to cast. I don't know why. I'm just so tired today. But we've got double cannon coming up beyond this Nexus. The gateway's on the way as well. Now, if Michael is the same Michael I think it is, and he is the 2v2 player, then essentially he should have a pretty good job dealing with these early Zergling rushes. Now, a lot of probes are being pulled over the Nexus, so pretty much perfect timing to start mining, but they're also going to be used to block the Zerglings. Very, very important. Dark is going to get some of his lings stuck on the neutral Zeldaga temples in the middle of the map, and the probe has been caught, so a little bit unlucky there for Michael, but pretty good for Dark overall to be able to get that. Now, there is a lot of lings here. He did spend a lot of money on getting speed. He's pulled out as well, so he's building nothing but drones and nothing but lings. No gas is being mined currently, and no lair is on the way. So I believe this was, in fact, a little bit of an all-in here, but he's trying to transition out of it the best he can. Without obviously mining gas, you get a lot more minerals, and you can see his drone count is going up a lot. So he's forced a couple of cannons, not build too many lings, and is going to switch over into those drones and get a third base in the middle of the map as well. Now, this is a mineral only. It is quite possibly the hardest base to defend against Protoss players on this map, but we see that Michael isn't getting +1 attack. He's waiting a little bit on getting his third zealot, so the third zealot not going to be out, and it's going to be very difficult for Michael to really push across the map and do any damage. Catspaw saying he faced Dark on Carthage's map, and he'd like to take a minute just sit right there to tell you how I died to a how he died to a Hydra all-in. And Hyun QC saying not another scumbag Zerg. Oh my goodness. Now, finally we do have gas being mined again, so lair should come up soon after this. As a matter of fact, the lair may be a little bit later than I'm expecting, but he is going to go for Hydra Den 4th hatchery, and maybe gonna skip layer to go for very quick Hydra upgrades. Possibly an evolution chamber as well, and possibly a 5th hatchery. Yeah, it's gonna be 4 hatch Hydra with, no, 4 hatch gas Hydra den 5th hatch. So this is a very, very weird build. It relies a lot on your opponent not being able to build up a big early zealot count, which I think Dark is kind of feeling that his opponent's not going to have. I mean, there is double Stargate coming in, so it looks like Michael is planning on going double Corsair Reaver. And on this map, Corsair Reaver is pretty good. It's very easy to defend your bases with Reavers. There's no Robo just yet, so obviously we can't confirm that. But it's very likely to come up. It's very unlikely you would go for double Stargate Corsair Templar, so I don't necessarily feel this a Hydra roll in Cat's Paw, because he's getting a 6th hatchery as well, so it was weird. I think he was planning on doing a kind of Ling Bust, but it didn't really work, so he just transitioned and went Mass Drone. And honestly, it's worked out really well, because Michael, unable to push, he is going to scout the amount of hatcheries. Did he scout the middle bases? I think he did. Yeah, I think he must have flown straight over. So it is going to be triple Corsair, so luckily enough, the lack of Spire is going to help him a little bit, but he will need Scourge soon. Obviously the Spire is going to be a very, very long way away, but nothing too much to say there. Now attacking into the Hydralisk with the Corsairs, not the best move. So Michael is going to be forced back, and that's definitely another little bit of a win for Dark here. And it feels like rather than it being a win for a Dark, it's, well, I'm going to Michael in my commentary again and say it's actually more of a loss for Michael. Because, I mean, Dark was kind of gifted that little victory there. And the same thing happened before as well with the overpull probes. But Michael is going to be able to build up his Corsair count. It does get very annoying to deal with this as Zerg, because you are going to lose a ton of Overlords. And look at this, he's even got 2 Overlords out in the middle of the map. Michael is certainly making up for losing that single Corsair. If he, oh, okay, I thought it was going to be another Overlord, but not quite just yet. Now, if he was going double Corsair, Dark Templar, that'd be amazing. But it is going to be Corsair Reaver. Support Bay is on the way, Robo is at the front. Now, this can still be very good if you can use the Corsairs to block any Scourge, block any Mutalisks. All of a sudden, your speed shuttles with the Reavers in are going to be doing a ton of damage. Oh my goodness, if he gets all these Overlords, this could be massive. Even if he loses some Corsairs here, this will be very, very worth it. And he pulls one away before it dies. Nicely done. Does lose another one, but look how heavily supply blocked Dark is right now. He is in so much trouble with these supply blocks. This is 100 minerals every single time he rebuilds an Overlord. And that's 100 minerals he's not going to get back. It's not like he's sat there on a ton of bases. He's only on 3 bases right now. And he's going to fly over another massive pack of Overlords. Does he have +1 attack? Yes, he does. So it is +1 attack Corsairs as well. There's another 2 coming in. And Dark really needs to split these up. I know he's sitting them on top of Overlord, on top of Hydralisks, but honestly, man, you need to split them a little bit, because every time these Corsairs come in, they are going to be heavily, heavily supply blocking you. And look at this, he's going to come in for another attack. He sees the Hydras pushing through to the map, but he is going to get on top of the Overlords. No, the Overlords are going to be pulled away. There is, of course, 8 Corsairs now, and that makes it even better. The first Reaver is out with Scarabs. First Shotless on the way. Is there Reaver? Shuttle speed? Yes, there is. And double additional gateways coming in. There is going to be a Citadel, so he is going to transition into a more normal approach to PvZ here. After this, he's not going to go mass Corsair, mass Reaver. But let's have a look. There is a Spire on the way. There's an Evolution Chamber done. And the Corsairs are going to continuously find themselves running into Hydralisk. So he does lose another Corsair. A little bit unfortunate, but his Corsair count continues to grow. And now he's stopped finally on those 9. 9 Corsairs, definitely enough to stop any possible Mutalisk switches anytime soon. And now, does he have +2 air attack coming on? No, I don't think he does. Do you need Fleet Beacon for +2 air? I don't think you do you? I think it's just +3. But he's going to go into Templar Archives behind this. Going to add additional gateways on as well. And he is going to look to power up behind this and build a very, very strong army. Now, where is the Reaver Shuttle? Here it is. So the Speed Shuttle coming into the main. There's absolutely no defense here. There's no Fleet Beacon, so he can't, whatever you call it, disruption web these Reavers. But it looks like no, what am I trying to say? No burrow has been researched, so looks like we are going to get a ton of damage done, at least. Well, to be fair, that wasn't actually that much damage in the main. And the Corsair is going to fly over Hydralisk again. Like, oh, this is going to be tough. He needs to be very, very careful with this Reaver Shuttle. Oh my god! Oh! Losing all of the shield there. Just avoiding that hull damage. And it looks like Dark did a pretty good job defending. Now, Dark definitely, as Catspore said, definitely does need to look to get a 4th base at some point. I mean, he's got a ton of hatcheries, a ton of lava, and a ton of Hydralisks, but at some point you need to go into Hive, you need to get your 4th base. There's no upgrades just yet, only +1 is almost done. Oh my god, the Corsair's flying over Hydralisk again. That's a very, very big mistake here by Michael, but Michael is going to try and take a base up here to the top right. Not a difficult base to defend for him. And of course, with that Speed Shuttle Reaver, makes it a little bit easier. Using 2 Scarabs to kill a single Ling, maybe a little bit overkill. But let's check how many kills. So only 7 kills on these Reavers. And of course, we know one of them was just a Ling. So Jesse asked me, what is the most cringy, embarrassing thing you did? There has been way too many that I can possibly think of. But essentially, I would say the most embarrassing thing I've done recently is... You know what? I don't know. So many embarrassing things happen to me at so many opportunities that I can't possibly think. Oh my god, I feel bad because I can't answer the question. I don't really know. Oh my god, this is... Okay. I think Dark may just win the game right here, right now. There's a ton of... I'll answer the question after this. Look at this. So many Hydras running in. There's a ton of cannons. Is there Storm? No Storm energy just yet. It's just coming in. Is Storm finished? There we go. Storm has finished. And those are big, big Storms. The Reaver at the front going to make this very difficult for the Hydras to break on through. There's double Reaver on top of this part of the ramp. And it's going to make it very difficult for Dark's army to go in. Michael is doing an incredibly good job defending this. And there is a Storm up here as well, making this even easier to defend. And this is showing the true power of Protoss right now, because the cost effectiveness of his units against all of those Hydras is just completely ridiculous. Oh my goodness. But the Hydras are slowly starting to break up the ramp. The Reaver Scarabs going very, very weird patterns to try and get up here. And he is going to try and break out this main to come in behind. Not the best decision. The Overlords have been cleared again though. But can these Reavers on the high ground hold on? These Hydras are going to do a ton of damage. Looks like he's not going to be able to hold on to this base, but there's a lot of cannons coming up behind. We'll have to see what's going on. So the cannon going to finish. Looks like he is going to be able to hold on to his 3rd base for now. A 4th base is coming up from Dark. But Dark is continuing to build a ton of Hydralisks. There's no additional upgrades coming in. Well, +2 attack is, but no additional evolution chambers from what I can see. And with the 4th base only just starting up, there's no Queen's Nest. He is going to be going nothing but Hydras. That was a nice pickup on that High Templar. We caught the very tail end of that happening. Well, just to go back to the question Jesse asked, I imagine this is like not super cringy or super embarrassing, but essentially I did something at work for someone and I thanked them even though they were meant to thank me. Like, Thing is, like, there's so many things that embarrass me, but none of them are like super important. It's just I get so anxious about everything that even the smallest little things are the biggest problems. So I'm not really sure. You know what? I'll tell you what. I danced really, really badly at a Christmas party the other day. Like, it was really cringy dancing as well because I can't dance. So there we go. I mean, everyone was pretty much drunk, so I think no one can remember it, which is good. But I danced a little bit. I tried to fight my anxiety for a while, and I tried to bust some moves on the dance floor in front of like 30 other people. So that was something. There we go. I'm not gonna dance on stream. If I hit the $1,200 goal on Patreon, I'll dance on stream. Because that'll give me a celebratory dance to do, because that means I'll be able to cut a day off work. But either way, amazing engagements from Michael. Dark is losing a ton of Hydras every time he pushes in. And this third base holds strong. There's double Reaver behind the minerals. 8 kills on this one. No Reaver Scarab damage upgrade, but an additional Forge is coming in. Let's check the gate count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Obviously the 7th one coming in. And +3 attack is on the way. Oh no, +2 attack, okay. +2 attack is very, very late. So that's someone that's going for Dark, or going well for Dark. Now Dark's also going for his 4th and his 5th base. But still no Queen's Nest, still no Hive, and still only a single Evolution Chamber. But there's going to be a ton of hatcheries. Now let's actually zoom out a little bit to catch this engagement. The Reavers behind the mineral line going to be very, very effective here, attacking the Hydras as they come through the choke. Storm on that ramp as well. Going to make this very, very difficult for Dark. And honestly, with how well Michael's been playing this, I think Michael is going to end up winning this game through sheer will of defensive power alone. He has killed so many Zerg units. And I mean, Dark is just sending them over and over and over again. And he's just unable to split against what he needs to split against. Is +2 done? No, +2. Still not finished just yet. And yeah, the 2 Reavers on the shuttle going to be doing a ton of damage at the top of the ramp again. These Reavers, 19 kills on a single Reaver. How often do you see that? And it's not even workers, it's Hydra kills. And look at that storm. What a perfect storm on that ramp. Now oh, that was a nice storm. Oh no, losing those 3 High Templar are going to be very, very bad. Very, very important units are these High Templar. A big pick off by Dark. Dark, of course, is still ahead economically. Michael is mined out of his main. He's mined out of his natural. And he's only down to 1 base. So he has to try and move across the map and take a 4th somewhere here, or he is going to eventually lose this game. Now, Dark is slowly starting to grow again. His supply is going up and up. Unfortunately, there's still no lurker tech. I mean, Dark is essentially... Oh my god, this Scarab could be huge. Oh, goodness. Okay, so he doesn't get the perfect Scarab, but he is going to get some Scarabs on this high ground. Storm at the back as well. Archon coming in. Storm, and there we go. Oh my goodness. So much damage going down, but the Reaver Shuttle goes down, and Dark holds on to his base. And look at this, without the Reavers, the Hydra is going to flood up to that top middle base, or top right base. This is the only base that Michael has to defend. And he doesn't have any units to defend it with. There is going to be Storm coming in, but it's not their oh wait, the Reaver Shuttle survives. Unless, wait, no, this is new Reavers. This is a new Reaver Shuttle. He's replaced it. And look at all the Hydras. Oh my goodness, how many times are we going to see Hydras run into Reavers? How many times? So sick. But the Hydra is going to go into the natural this time. The Reaver Shuttle is out of position. It's not going to be able to move over to defend this. I mean, the base isn't important anymore. It's all about the main base now. The Reaver Shuttle going to try and come in, but going to find it. So, oh no, he loses the Reaver Shuttle. I think Dark may have just won the game with this fell swoop. because unfortunately he just doesn't have anything to defend anymore. He's got Mass Storm. Dark is doing a pretty good job splitting his Hydras this time. And I think there's just too much Zerg here. There's nothing on the high ground to defend the third, so if he just builds nothing but Hydras and pushes, he should be able to break through. Now the Robo facility is unpowered, so there's going to be no additional Reavers, no additional shuttles. And there is nice Storm. I mean, Michael's Storms this game have been very, very good. Like, he has been so efficient with his units. But I think, unfortunately, he's just been outgrown. He's been overpowered. Yes, he has. GG. Michael taps out. And even with DTs, even though they're a useful skill to have, he's not going to win as Dark takes game number 2. So that was actually a really sick game. It's been really cool. I'm going to go for a quick break again for a few minutes just so I can get ready for the next game, and also give my voice a little bit of a break because there have been 2 pretty epic games in a row. So I'll see you guys in around 3 to 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Oh, I thought I muted myself. Okay guys, we are back. We're going to be heading into our third game. It's going to be a PvT. This time it's going to be Fly versus Marine. Now, I'm coughing still because I ended up with another cold. It's just how things are essentially, but it's one of those things. In terms of the name of the track, I'm not sure what it is because I don't know what thing you were watching at the time. But if you let me know what you were watching, I will find out for you, because I can't hear the audio when I'm playing the videos and stuff. I do that all through OBS under a VLC video source, so that's cool. But we're going to go into a TVP. That should be a lot of fun. Let's introduce our map, and then from there we can go into everything else. Now, it is going to be one of my favorite maps from Season 2. It's going to be the one, the only Desperado. Looks like this game was played pre-patch, so we've got a Cyan Terran, a Cyan Protoss even, so we're going to switch that to red versus blue, just for visibility. But Desperado, whoa, what are we looking at here? Oh man, it's because it's off the screen. I hate how Windows 10 does that. It messes up my overlay entirely. I don't know why it does that. Like, Windows 7 didn't. Like, on Windows 7, even if something was like completely off the screen, OBS would pick it up. But Windows 10 can't do it for some reason. I have no idea why. But Desperado, really cool. Desperado, of course, a 4-player map. There's double gases in each of the mains. And if we actually have a look at the stats, PBT is actually quite close with Protoss in the lead on this map. So our players, let's introduce them. The Protoss player in this game will be once again going to pSi here. pSi do have a lot of Protoss players on their roster, but Marine going to be playing Protoss here. He's played Protoss, Zerg, and Terran across the entire STPL. He's 20% win rate, so not too great overall in the wins, but he's been up against some incredibly strong opponents. Somehow Marine essentially ends up playing against the best players on each of the teams every single week. And this one, honestly, isn't that different. FlyMeo is a very strong Terran player here for BuLL. I'm not quite sure what happened when the photos were being cut out here. I think it was done by Dio before he sent them over. But it makes FlyMeo look very... like, his head looks really thin. And I'm fairly certain it's because it's been cut out weirdly, but... either way, FlyMeo, an incredibly strong Terran player here. 45% win rate, very respectable. 4 for 7 against Protoss, so around a 30% win rate if I'm working that out right in my head. So not too bad, not too great, but of course, with PBT, it's very, very difficult sometimes. So let's get into game number 3. It's Desperado, and it's going to be Michael versus FlyMeo. Okay, starting us off here in the top right hand position, we do have the blue Terran fighting for BuLL. It's going to be the Bolivian FlyMeo. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right hand position fighting for pSi. It's going to be the Protoss player from Bulgaria. It's Marine. Also Jesse, Jesse's saying, I don't get this, we had Windows 98 and now it is Windows 10. Why did we drop numbers and not go higher? I must admit, I felt like that as well. But then essentially, they were counting up in years, and then obviously they would go down automatically because they'd go to Windows 2 or whatever. Did Windows 7 come out in 2007? I'm fairly certain it didn't, did it? Like, when did Vista come out? And yeah, as Hyun said, Microsoft can't count. They think one comes after 360. And then they just remove the numbers. Like, they've gone back to Xbox. It's like, okay, but I'm fairly certain we already had the Xbox. Although it's technically called the Xbox Series X. So, I don't even know. Like, I've given up on console naming schemes. At least the Switch makes sense. At least the PS5 or PS4 is the latest one makes sense as well. Microsoft just try and be too clever, I think, with their stuff. Hellgated K saying Protoss from Bulgaria sounds scary. I bet he's really good. Well, Marine, I'm going to be honest, Marine is one of the most surprising players for me because he is the only player I've ever seen that changes the matchups he wants to play every single week. So he's a race picker, but he doesn't always pick the same race or pick the same matchups. Like, depending on the week, he will essentially pick whatever he wants to pick. So, like, some weeks he'll go, okay, I'm going to play TVT, PVZ, ZVZ. And then the next week he'll be like, okay, I'm going to play TVP, PvP, and ZVT or something. It's like crazy. It's like, what? But yeah, it's kind of cool to see what's going on here. Now, obviously, some of the stats you've seen there, it looks like the games for both of these players are quite a little bit shorter in average duration compared to others. Flymeo is going to wall off his main, and that's not too bad. That's not too much of a bad decision. You don't necessarily need your natural expansion here because you do have the 2 full gases in your main base, and that's always something that Terran can get behind because minerals not too important. Why build vultures when you can build many tank? And we know from a famous screenshot from Boxer that many tank is good. So, I mean, if the Emperor says many tank is good, we go for many tank, right? We are going to have a starport coming in here from Flymeo. This is a very good map for dropping as well. These bases are kind of set up in a way like Fastest, where you have minerals on the left and right. Or, like, it's not really Fastest, is it? I keep saying Fastest, but it's not. It's more like the fastest gases rather than the minerals. But there is minerals on the left and right hand side. It does mean you mine minerals a little bit faster, so your economy is a little bit kick-started on this map. That can throw off a lot of timings because you get a lot more minerals than you normally would do. And of course, when you get this mineral in the natural, it throws you off even more because all of a sudden you're kind of worrying about getting a ton of minerals super early when you don't necessarily need them. But it basically means you can go for a lot of gateways, a lot of hatcheries as Zerg, a lot of barracks as Terran, or a lot of vultures as Terran as well. Now, looks like we are going to have a vulture opening here from Flymeo. Now, this is actually going to cause a few problems because there is 2 dragoons now at the front already. They're not going to be able to break through the... they're not going to be able to break through the wall here, but they're definitely going to make things difficult as this vulture is going to come under fire. The barracks is going to come under fire as well. And until this first tank comes out, until everything else comes down as well, then it's going to be difficult. So we're going up to 3 gateways here. Robo facility coming in as well. So not very quick tech here whatsoever. Likely just going to be an observatory. But there is going to be a dropship coming in here for Flymeo. There's going to be 4 vultures at the perfect timing. Speed is almost done as well. And most of Marine's units are out on the middle of the map. He is going to be sending them back. But they are going to be taking out Port Rapid down here in the bottom right hand stasis cell. And this dropship could actually come in and do a ton of damage. There's no defense back at home. And Marine is going to count himself a little bit lucky here at the fact he's got an expansion that he can transfer his workers to, as this dropship could do a ton of damage. Now Marine does see the dropship coming in. Immediate response from these dragoons. For how many probes are we going to see go down? Start with 31. One's gone down so far. Wow, not killing another one so far. This is a little bit unfortunate. But mine's going to be laid. Most of the probes have been evacuated though, and that's really all that Marine needs to worry about. Oh, the mines though. Doesn't want to be losing dragoons to mines right now. But I mean, he's only lost about 2-3 probes, which is just crazy. The fact he managed to do that is incredibly impressive. Now he is going to kill, or at least try to kill, the observatory. This building does die incredibly quickly, so vultures are eventually going to be able to kill it. And I think Marine is so worried about mines that he may actually lose the observatory, which is kind of crazy. How often do you get to see vultures kill a building, guys? You know what? I didn't realize the observatory died this quickly. I'm going to tell... Oh no! Kill it! It's getting like 2 more volleys. 2 more volleys. Okay, 3 more volleys. There we go. The observatory goes down. And Marine is going to be forced to rebuild it. Nicely done. Now, while this is going on, Flymeo is pushing through the map with a ton of tanks right now, but there is still a ton more Dragoons back at home. Now, this Vulture is still alive. Is it going to get another probe? No, not just yet, but are these tanks going to break through this? I don't think they will. I think Flymeo may be a little bit overzealous here with his tanks. Like, tanks are good, but this isn't many tank. This is few tank, and few tank are not great. I mean, you can see how hard he's trying to kill these Dragoons. And they're just... oh, he gets a second one. Oh, the mine! Oh, the mine doesn't go off. Wow. And he's going to lose all of his tanks again. This is not a good position for Flymeo to be in. And so far, out of all of the Psi players, I think this is definitely the best position they've been so far in this series. So nicely done by Marine. Now, Marine is going to be able to build a third base here at the mineral only. Realistically, he wants to take the 6 o'clock base as quick as possible, as that will give him access to another gas. You can also take another main and just wall it in with pylons. And honestly, that's probably where Marine's going to do it. That's definitely the best place to expand to, because it gets you 2 additional gases. And that's realistically what you want. Now, the Vultures are going to be able to run by. Are they going to get up the ramp? No, Marine. Oh, no! Marine's Vulture deciding to go traitor mode there. The Vulture's going to get into the main. This could be a horrific amount of damage. Oh, there's a Dragoon in the mineral line. Is there going to be a mine here? If there is, this could be devastating. Oh, no. Oh, this could be a traitor Dragoon. Looks like he is going to be able to hold on, but losing a ton of probes. He is our Protoss hero here from Bulgaria. But the Observer in the right location is going to save him for now. Okay, so is Marine going to expand up here? It's definitely the best place to go to. Now, Mio again is going to push through the map with few tank, when many tank is better. But, I mean, maybe he's just going to go to take a third base. I mean, he doesn't even have his natural just yet. So, Flymeo is definitely in a pretty all-in situation. Like, he has to do damage somewhere. And, I mean, this is just to use the same language. This is many Dragoon right now. This is way more Dragoons than there are tanks. And honestly, despite the fact there's 5 tanks sieged up, I think these Dragoons can actually push through here, but maybe not. Tanks are very strong. He doesn't have +1 attack, but goons are very, very weak. So apparently, many goon is not enough against few tank. You need many, many goon. Which is kind of funny, but okay, so Flymeo is back in it. He's suddenly killed a ton of Marine's army. I really don't understand why he went in. I genuinely thought he could break through there, but apparently goons are just really weak. Like, I never realized how easily goons die. Like, my tanks do not do that kind of damage. I don't know what it is. But the goons are going to move in. Obviously, every bit of damage these tanks are going to be taking is going to be more that he cannot repair. Well, he can, but he's not going to send SCVs down here. Now, looks like Marine is eventually going to be able to break through this. He's going to put a mine there, but that's actually going to hurt. Now, who won? Wait, what? What? Who tapped out? I'm guessing Protoss won, right? What? Wait, what? Okay. Flymeo lost, but like... yeah, he's on 1 base. I get that, but... I mean, Marine just lost his entire army, right? That's weird. This is why people need CGG in their games, guys. I know that Flymeo was on 1 base, but essentially all those bases that Marine had were all mining just minerals. So he was on 2 gas, so was Flymeo. He had a really good engagement against the Dragoons. Yes, he lost his army. I don't know. I don't physically know who won that game. I'm assuming it's Marine, but I mean Marine lost all of his army, right? So did Marine tap out? Yeah, fair enough, Slav. I guess that makes sense. But it's definitely weird. I don't understand why someone would leave like that. Both left at the same time. I know you meant left, but that's kind of funny. Yeah, I guess Flymeo did give up, but it's definitely a weird situation to be in. Certainly not something I've seen in a very long time, where I can't actually like picture in my head who would have left, because maybe Marine got tilted and he didn't scout for ages. So I'm gonna give Marine the win. I don't know if he won. I'll have to fix it if he didn't, but I'm assuming he won there. Now I'll be back with game number 4 when we get back after this very short break. See you guys soon. Did you know it was possible to drop behind the naturals in Fighting Spirit? It's a bit finicky to land in the right place. You essentially need to... There's very specific spots in each of the spawns, which I'm going to try and show you here.
Hang on, we're in for some chop. I copy that.
There we go, there's one. So I believe there's actually more spots than this, but essentially it's quite hard to do. So you've got one here. I found 2 over here. There's also one here as well. You can also drop, I think, in this location. One thing to point out is the ghost cannot actually move. But of course what it does give you the option of doing is it allows you to nuke. Is already at DeWalt's front door. DeWalt has absolutely no idea this is happening. A lot of series units did break through the other power generator, but finally, oh my god, the Corsair sees it. But is it a little bit too little too late? DeWalt is a man who has incredible micro against Zerg, so let's see if he can hold on here. He's not going to be able to hold the temple at the very least, so... And there's going to be speedlings flooding across the map very, very shortly. Now, Corsair's not going to help. It's going to be a scout coming in. A scout's like the only option he has. The Zealot, for some reason, is moonwalking on top of the Dragoon. Nice probe drill. Actually doing a really, really good job there, but is it just too little too late here? How is DeWalt going to hold on to this? Seri has lost one of his only overlords, though. He's going to lose his other ones. And DeWalt's actually not doing a terrible job. He's holding on. He's not taking any probe damage. He is now supply blocked. So both players are going to be supply blocked here. The cannon is going to come up in the mineral line. The Seri is so unbelievably supply blocked. We're not going to see any additional links coming from him. And DeWalt is holding on. It's 21 probes against 8 drones. The pylon's coming up. He's going to have to repower all his buildings. But there's a cannon here now. The probes are still alive. 20 probes. DeWalt holds. A scout as well. Insult to injury here for this failed attack by Seriosity. DeWalt was perfect micro, holding on. Seri once again trying to build overlords, but they're going down to a Corsair. And even the gateway is going to survive here. And I mean, DeWalt, this is perfect for IRK. They needed this. They struggled at the beginning of the season. They came back and they have done a fantastic job. GG, Seri taps out. DeWalt takes game number 5 and gives the... Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for some more STPL action. Looks like Bonith might be raiding me, which is kind of crazy. He's got a ridiculous amount of views right now, so that's kind of cool. Now this should, I think, yeah, I think this is definitely going to be the final game of the night, just because it is getting kind of late. I will cast again tomorrow as well, so don't worry, we'll get some Christmas Eve action in. But let's have a look at our map for this game. Where am I? Here we go. So we're going to be heading into Neo Outlier. It is going to be a TVZ. Thank you very much, Bonith, for the raid. That is a ridiculous amount of viewers you've had. Hopefully your stream went well, man. You definitely do deserve it. You're an amazing player, and I check out your streams sometimes, but usually you stream when I'm streaming, so it makes it a little bit harder. But welcome to all those viewers. We're going to be heading into our final game of today. It's Psi versus BuLL. We're going to be heading into Neo Outlier in a TVZ. We've not had too many TVZs here. It's mostly been PVZ. So it's going to be cool to see our fourth one here to introduce both of our players. Let's actually have a look at our Psi player first. Psi, of course, if you don't know who they are the Bulgarian national team. Essentially, they are fully Bulgarian. There's no one from any other country there. But Mitak, he went out specifically to get this photo, and I absolutely adore him for it, because that is genuinely an amazing photo to put as his player profile. Bonith, I need a picture for you as well, because no one sent me one. But this pic is amazing. I love it so much. And he's not done too well in terms of statistics, but he's been up against some incredibly strong opponents. And the important thing is, he just comes out every single week, and he doesn't disappoint. His games, even though a lot of them are losses, a lot of the time are very close. And he did beat TTF last time, and TTF is an incredibly strong Russian Terran, so kind of cool to see him once again here. His opponent going to be for BuLL. It is the wonderful Reina. He also has an incredible picture. Once again, Bonith, we definitely do need one for you as well. And I mean, Reina looks like the kind of Reina looks like one of like the bad kids, or like the jocks from like a 50s American like high school drama or something. But genuinely, Reina, one of the strongest players in BuLL, one of the strongest Terrans in the STPL. If you look, he's actually ranked 29, which is no mean feat. To have 50% or above 50% win rate in general is just incredible, and to be up at 57 is very good. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get in to game number 4. We're currently 2-1 up for BuLL, so this is going to be match point for Reina. And let's see if Mitak can keep the dream alive into an ace match. Okay, starting us off here in the 12 o'clock position is the wonderfully magenta Reina, fighting from Bolivia for BuLL. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right in the white, fighting from Bulgaria for Psi. It's Mitak. Chobo, you may think that, but we could get an ace match. It's a no. It's an anti-spoiler, because essentially, I'm not saying there is going to be an ace match, and I'm not saying there's not. I said potentially the last game of the day. But let's see if Mitak can win this game. If he can, Psi, who just got their first win in the series, are going to take us into an ace match. What I meant to say is this will be the last match of the day, but I did say potentially as well. So there could be an ace match, you never know. I never like to say if there is or not. I never like to check either, so I don't spoil it for myself, because one of the hardest things of being essentially a solo caster now, a solo organizer, Rapid has kind of taken a step back a little bit to try and fix his sleep schedule, which is very good, because I'm going to be honest, as happy as I was that Rapid gave up his spare time to cast with me, I was kind of worried about how unhealthy his sleep schedule was. So the fact he's sorting that out is amazing. Hopefully I'll be able to get him casting with me again soon. Maybe we'll do a couple of nights a week or something where we cast a little bit later, so it's a little bit easier for him and he doesn't have to wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. But we'll have to see what's coming. But when you're a solo organizer as well, you have to know realistically, the organizer should know the outcome of the game so he knows what to do. But because I don't want to be spoiled and because I want to see the games with you guys for the first time, I have to avoid looking at results. So if there is an ace match, I don't know about it. Okay, so natural expansion coming up for Mitak. Mitak did a very good job getting that SCV. Did stop his drones mining a little bit, but obviously not the end of the world. Mitak going to get in, see the fact there is a gas on the main base, so we're going to see a tech opening here for Reyna. And is Mitak going to lose his drone here? This actually be pretty bad if he does, but it looks like it's going to get away. Nicely done. Doesn't do any damage to the marine, but not the most important thing in the world. Factory coming up, he does scout that, and the drone's going to go home, or possibly go and expand to a hidden third. Two Cubs saying in chat, wow, I thought SCVs had 60 HP. Where's your Tesagi now? The funny thing is, I've been watching a lot of Mario Maker streams recently, because I've always liked Mario Maker and I've always liked Mario, but like, there's a guy who's quite popular in Mario Maker called Little Curbs, and I keep getting confused with you two Curbs, which is kind of funny, I guess. And Hyun saying, they should give SCVs a gun. No, what would actually make SCVs better, and I know if Artosis was watching this, if like, Artosis would agree with me here, and if they gave SCVs a melee attack, they would actually be better. The very fact they have one range makes them absolutely pointless under Dark Swarm, and it means Terran actually have no units that can actually physically attack units under Dark Swarm other than with Splash, so that's a little bit of a knowledge. Oh my god, I'm so bad with words today. A little bit of a knowledge dump for you guys. If you didn't know, the SCV has like one range, or maybe it's like half a range or something, but it's not a melee attack. Unlike the... No, the probes have no, probes don't have a melee attack either. None of the workers do, but yeah, essentially it's not melee, even though it looks like it is. Like they have like essentially zero range. Like the drone can... Oh, nicely done by Mitak there, blocking both of the vultures. And slowly but surely I'm losing my mind, so... Okay, I just read the latest comment. If you want to see it, check the Twitch VOD. And I'm not gonna... Okay, so Hellgate is saying, imagine what it's like being a drone and having this dude in a robot suit welding on your ass. Oh my god. Okay, so we have a lot of Goliaths coming out here for Reyna. He's going to get +1 armor as well. This is the perfect opening against Mutalisks. Now, you can actually wall this off as Terran. You can go for a barracks depot. We're not going to worry about that too much, just kind of building a little bit of a choke to help out. But Reyna trying to get in to do some additional scouting is likely not going to be able to. Mitak definitely doing a very, very good job here with his Zerglings. So nicely done. Gonna block the scout. There's still no scout on that third base either. +1 armor is coming in, which is perfect to go with your Mutalisk against Goliaths, especially when they've only got +1 armor, because essentially Goliaths, due to the fact Mutalisks are small units, do less damage against Mutalisks. I can't remember the numbers, so I'm not going to try and read them out. If someone has a link to the Liquipedia page, then it's definitely pretty good for Mutalisks, because they take even less damage with +1 carapace. Now here come the Mutalisks here, which is pretty good. By the way, shoutouts Shoutouts to Liquipedia, our wonderful sponsor for STPL Season 2. Liquipedia is a wonderful resource that if you can help out with editing, please do. Anyone with a Team Liquid account can actually edit the Liquipedia page. If you don't want to do Brood War Liquipedia because you don't want to put the wrong info in, there is, I think, 27 other games on there, or 26 other games or something. So if there's a game you like and you have a lot of random knowledge about, even if you want to help report the scores of tournaments, head on over to Liquipedia and make your contribution. It doesn't cost you anything to do it, and it's a great resource for the Brood War community. Okay, so +1 carapace, almost done, about 2/3 of the way done. We've got another SUV coming in. Rainer is trying to scout. He's doing his best to scout as well, but unfortunately he's just not able to see anything. He doesn't know the amount of sunkens here, so this could be a very ill-fated Goliath push. Now, he's only pushing off of 2 factories, which is incredibly strange. Usually if you're going for this build, you would skimp a little bit more on turrets, you'd go up to 5 factories incredibly quickly, and then you would push. But when you're going for 2 fact into 4, it's better to really expand behind this rather than go for a big engagement. But looks like he is going to go into the 5th factory anyway. I'm not so sure I agree with this too much, but +1 armor is done. He needs to start +1 attack immediately. Very important to stick ahead in upgrades in TBT, or sorry, in TBZ when you're going for mech, because mech upgrades are the most efficient, I believe, in the game. Now, someone has just spoken in chat with quite possibly the weirdest name I've ever seen, and I'm definitely not going to read that one out. That's an amazingly funny name, though. Nice ID, man. Okay. Oh, that tickled me. Oh my goodness, that's a great name. If you're watching the VOD, go check the Twitch VOD as well if you're watching on YouTube, and check out this guy's name. It's great. Landowner, it's like three chat messages above you. It's a really good name. I am very childish when it comes to humor. The stupidest things make me laugh. And I've also got a terrible sense of humor as well, because I can't make anyone else laugh, but I make myself laugh. So there we go, Jesse. That's another cringy thing for your AMA that you asked, where what's the most cringy, embarrassing thing you do? I laugh at my own jokes a lot. And Lucky Noob, I'm glad you say that I make you laugh, because I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for you guys. I feel kind of sorry for you guys if I make you laugh. But you know what? Thank you very much for the comment. It means a lot. Okay, so Mitak has been building up his muteless flock. He's got about 1.5 control groups now, heading on over into the main of Rainer. Rainer's Goliaths are absolutely miles away. A very quick cancel on that on the supply depot. The turrets are going to be going down immediately, of course. +1 carapace is done. Oh my god, is he going to focus down the armory here? Focusing down the armory would be incredible. If he gets +1 attack before it's done, that essentially stops Rainer completely in his tracks. Now, there's still no 3rd base coming up. 3rd base has been done for a while for Rainer. For Mitak even. He's not really mining from there too much, but he is getting the gas. And unfortunately, Mitak missing quite a few shots, but I don't think he's even lost a single muteless yet, which is crazy. It just goes to show the power of +1 carapace on those muteless. Now, has he got? Yeah, he's almost got +2 carapace. This is ridiculous. Like, these Goliaths are essentially going to do no damage. And look at what Rainer's had to do. He's got half his Goliaths here, half in the main. And if Mitak just goes in on one of these groups with this many muteless, he's going to be able to take them all out, I believe. But does need to be careful engaging both groups at the same time. Definitely going to be problematic. But looks like he is going to get away with it for now. Cat's Paw, Valkyries would not be better here, because Valkyries do not do well against +1 carapace. Think of it like a PvZ. where Corsairs are incredibly good if they've got the upgrade advantage, but if they're up against Carapace from the air and they have no attack upgrade, they don't do all that much damage. Like, obviously Corsairs do a little bit more damage than Valkyries do, just due to the way their splash works. But the problem is if he can actually hold up against this mech force. This is a big giant mech ball, +1 attack, is not yet finished. If he gets in and cancels this, that could be a very, very big moment in this game. Is he going to go for it? No? Yes? Is he? Oh, what is the... Oh, if he gets +1 attack, this is pretty much going to be game over, but it depends on if he can actually hold on to the front. This is a lot of Mutalisks. He does stop +1 attack, and there is going to be no further Goliaths coming in. So this is going to be nothing but pure Mutalisk against nothing but pure Goliaths here. And we'll have to see how well he does. Let's zoom out a little bit. This is going to be a big, big engagement. The winner of this engagement is likely going to win the game. This is +2 Carapace Mutalisks against 0-1 Goliaths. And so far the Goliaths are doing pretty well on below. But the Mutalisks are still holding pretty strong. There's not actually that many Goliaths yet. So with good reinforcements, maybe he can win the engagement. But the Goliaths are split really, really well. Oh my god, this is so unbelievably close. But it looks like the Goliaths, there's just too many of them. But here come the Mutalisk reinforcements. Can he manage to bust through? There's less than 12 Goliaths remaining. But it's too much. GG, Mitak taps out and Reyna wins game number 4. That was an amazing engagement. Did +1... I want to check this actually. I'm just going to have a quick look at the replay. I want to see when that engagement started. Did he have +2 Carapace? I think he did. Yeah, he did. +2 Carapace wasn't enough to deal with 0 upgraded, 0 attack upgraded Goliaths. There was just too many of them. And they were too well spread. So really, really nicely done by Reyna. Gonna give BuLL the win in the series. It is going to be 3-1. In a way, part of me is happy that Reyna won, just because if Mitak had won, and I thought Marine had won the last game, I didn't have a what was I gonna say? Oh my goodness. What was it? Yeah, we would have had no Ace replay, so that would have been worse. So, thankfully, we saw the full series. Now, it is very late for me, so I am going to call it there, but let's give the win to BuLL before we go, of course. I'll just make sure that's definitely added correctly. And then we'll have a look at the results of the game. So let's actually flip on over to the results screen. Thank you, of course, guys, for tuning in. But here we look, here we go. Was a 3-1 victory here for BuLL. Inca winning game number 1. That was quite a close game on New Arkanoid. Dark winning game number 2 on Carthage 3. That was a very close PvZ on Carthage 3. Marine taking out Flymeo in a bit of a weird PvT. I can't explain that game. And honestly, when the game ended, a GG didn't pop up. And I didn't know what was going on. And Reyna versus Mitak was a win there for Reyna. Now, Eri, I know you've just tuned in to see Soul play. I started late, so I am gonna give it a break for today. But what we'll do is tomorrow, I know it's gonna be Christmas Eve, but I'll be back at 2100. You know what? Let's make it. Yeah, 2100 CEST. It's not CEST anymore. 2100 CET. It's not been CEST for like over 2 months, so I need to be careful with that. It's going to be 2100 CET tomorrow, Christmas Eve. If you don't tune in tomorrow for Naz vs Soul, you are going to be missing, from what I understand, is going to be an incredible series. Just to go through some of the players that you'll see tomorrow. I would do it now, but I'm worried that if the series goes on a while, then I'll be late for work tomorrow and I need to wake up really early. So we're going to have a TVP between Seriosity and Perfume, a TVT between Terra, what's that? Whoa, a TVT between Terra and Scan, a PvP between Sugo and Bonith, and then a ZVZ between Eon Zerg and Zealot. So that should be an amazing series between Naz and Soul. Tune in tomorrow, 2100 CET. Now, if you want to support the stream, you can support via following us on Twitter and retweeting what we tweet out, especially when we go live. It does help. You can also go to what was it? You can go to YouTube and sub there. Very, very cool to do that. If you can support monetarily, please look at the Patreon link below the stream. I do have a goal at $1,200 US to essentially take this more full time, which would be really, really cool if I could hit that. You can also use the Matrino code to donate directly to the prize pool, LSTPL. Just going to pop that here. You can use the code LSTPL to add 50 cents to the prize pool, completely free, courtesy of Matrino, or you can also donate to the prize pool there. And of course, one of the best ways to support as well is just continue tuning in, and every time the viewers grow, the higher chance we get of getting better sponsors, which makes it a lot better for the teams as we go forward into further seasons. So thank you so much for tuning in once again. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful time. I had a wonderful time bringing you the games today. They were really, really cool. And I'll see you tomorrow for Naz vs Soul, 2100 CET, same time, same place, for some more STPL action. Have a good evening.